Good morning from Pax Europiana. This is Günther speaking here, the last day from Skopje. I will now move on, going to Ohrid, and will send you some videos from there. The situation is, Mr. Schausberger, the former governor of Salzburg and the president of the Institute for Regions, has published an op-ed in the Austrian daily, the Vienna newspaper, the state-owned public newspaper, and he has drawn a very negative and bleak picture of the Balkans and the Balkan 6 EU enlargement perspective and the present European loss of influence in the Balkans. And he went country by country. By the way, he has left out his friend Vucic and the disaster he is doing in Serbia currently. But nevertheless, it was a very good article. Congratulations for being published. And obviously, I'm now making the replique in this video from here from Macedonia, and I will show you this beautiful landscape, and I will talk about what needs to be done, because he is missing the answers. He is describing correctly everything what is currently the situation. He's very well informed and one of the leading Austrian pro-Balkan politicians, with a bias to Serbia obviously, like many of them do. And I will give now the Southern Balkans perspective, if you want, the view from the south. So, what is happening? And a little bit of pro-American. I will make it very short because I want to be very clear and not to be misunderstood. What really must happen is NATO membership of Kosovo and Bosnia, and 3 EU memberships. And all this in this mandate by 2024, because now we have a stable German government. We have the 6th Austrian government, but that doesn't matter so much. We have an American government and a German government to work with for the next 2.5 years, and whatever, 22, 23, 24. So we can make significant progress in the next 3 years. So here we are. And what we need to do is, of course, Macedonia, here for North Macedonia, this beautiful country here. I give you the view of this amazing place and the Vardar River. It has to join the European Union 2024, and it is absolutely possible to do it together with Albania and Montenegro. Montenegro is the most advanced. It's basically ready. There is nothing anymore to be done. Seriously, it can be joining tomorrow. But okay, 2024. And here in Macedonia and in Albania to adopt the euro. Still, that is very good idea, and I promote this in these videos during my tour, to my Twitter and Facebook and my articles. I think I was very clear, but I lack, and Mr. Busek is right, a little bit the coalition partner. Is there nobody out there to help me? That's my question. Anyhow, so we are in this situation. So the 3 countries in the European Union, and also the Republic of Kosovo and Bosnia to join the European Union EU candidate status. That's the next status after potential EU candidate, the candidate status. Yeah? And by the way, no Russia or China has any influence, no Serbia, who we give candidate status and who we take in the EU and NATO. It's all us, ourselves. So let's get going. Nobody stops us. And no, it's not so complicated. The majority in Bosnia and Kosovo is for NATO membership, and so it's not a problem. The Serbs cannot block it ultimately, yeah? And if, then they have to be also tackled. Yeah? There was a lot of resistance in North Macedonia as well, and it was systematically engaged, let's call it like this. And so the situation is like this. Yeah? In Montenegro there was also a lot of opposition. Yeah? So. And in Kosovo there is very little opposition, and about 60% of the Bosnians are in favor of NATO membership. And then when we empower minorities, we don't empower them to constitutional block their countries to join the free world. That's not the idea of Holbrooke and Dayton, that the Serbs are powerful enough to block NATO membership. That's both countries are already secured by NATO, so it makes no sense to restrict them from joining and to be officially member. Obviously not. I mean, it's very clear. And EU membership is also not that Russia has a veto on Albania or North Macedonia, Montenegro joining. It's us and our own incompetence. So we have to stop that, and we have to get going, and that's very easy to be done. now with Germany and America hopefully aligned again and working together hand in hand to have these things done very clearly. So that's my answer. And then Serbia gets this peace offer I'm making all the time officially by the EU Parliament and Commission Council, that they get the euro for the recognition of Kosovo. Serbia gets the chance to join the EU sanction and to join the free world, otherwise it's getting isolated and the EU candidate status is getting frozen. And that's very realistic and easy to do. Also, nobody stops us on that one. If they then militarily go berserk or whatever, join the Russian Federation as a oblast, so when they militarily go berserk, we will militarily counter them. And when they join the Russia, okay, then good luck. The Serbian middle class will definitely rise again against people who want to drag them into Russia, because most of the Serbs live outside in the European Union already and not in Serbia, and the rest will leave and nobody goes to Russia to work or live or visit the family or whatever. That's not the case, but they come to Europe because they are Europeans. It's just a kind of nationalistic and corrupt leadership which is working with Russia because it's beneficial for them and they are serving other people, not the Serbian people. So that's the fact. So we have to be very clear here, and we have not to appease Vucic and Russian aggression. We have not to be distracted by troops at the Kosovo border or by Russian troops at the Ukrainian border, because it's the same way. They militarily mobilized to threaten war and to make a big frenzy out of the European politicians. They lost a kind of concentration and they just were afraid of military confrontation, which I understand. This web and podcast is for peace. But the ultimately thing is that then they lose the focus on what they have to do. And that's the whole idea, because no, Russia and Serbia don't want to do war. They want to distract us from our peacemaking and integration agenda, because that makes them really very, very less powerful when more countries are in NATO and EU, and that's what they want to stop. And they do it by military threats. And so that's my answer. It's not that the world is bleak, even when there is a little bit of clouds over the sky of Skopje, but it is just that we have a bit of a lack of focus, and if Mr. Schausberger is too bleak, we need simply to do the integration agenda as we have done it under George W. Bush in the 2000s and in the beginning of Merkel, and we stopped it with Croatia in 2013, and now we have to come up to get going again, and all of the issues can be solved easier inside. Sure, there are issues in Albania, Montenegro and North Macedonia, but they can solve inside much better. And of course, that's also the reason why we have this institution to solve such issues then inside the European Union. So that's my answer. And also for Kosovo, it's absolutely possible EU candidate status, and also for Bosnia and Kosovo NATO membership. This is absolutely necessary, and offer the euro for all the countries who are on our side, and offer the Austrian labor market to be opened and the German labor market and the EU labor market to be opened. And that will be also very well understood by all our friends. And that's my closing statement. Now I have to go home to the hotel and to Ohrid. I will send you more videos from these beautiful cities and places, and please support them. And support them not as handicapped people, but as real member states. Yeah? Support them as full members, as equal Europeans, please. This is the way forward. And this is what we have built the European Union for, and for nothing else. And we can do it, we have done it, we are very successful, we do the right thing, and we do it very successfully, and please, let's get going. Good. Thanks a lot, and good morning from Skopje. And please, 2024 is absolutely possible. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye.